happening, people? Well, several months ago I put a suspension seat on my zero turn mower. The only problem I had with it was after I put the suspension seat on, I have it as soft as right as I can get it. Is the problem I have is it's still a soft ride, but when you pull the seat up from the back, you can see that this rubber grommet is riding right on the frame. So you still get a little hard ride. So what I have done is I thought about it, and I said, well, you know, John Deere, their mowers have a spring which sits underneath their seat. When their seat flips forward, that sits right on top of the frame. So it gives you a little bouncy ride, but not much. So what I've done is I've taken the grommet out on this side, and I have cut this spring using a grinding wheel down, cut that off, and then on the flat edge of the spring where it's flattened on this end, you can see how it gets flat there and not up here. What I have done is I've cut that down, and then I've taken a fender washer and I have cut it on the grinding wheel, ground it down in order to fit up around under that spring, because as you can see with the coil on that spring, you're going to have one side sitting in here, but the other side has to come out underneath this side over here. So I can get this side in, but I got to grind it in order to get it to fit up under here. So that's what I'm working on, is the other wheel, the other spring rather. So I'll be working on this. So hang on, we'll get going here. The spring, you can see where I cut that spring off, went right here like so. So I've cut that down, and then I've also ground off my washer. This is a fender washer, so I've ground it off and I've bent it a little bit so it fits in, because I want one part of it to fit up underneath this flat part and the other part to fit around over here. So I got here, after I cut that spring and the washer down, you can see how I fit it up underneath, because one, it goes under the bottom coil, but then it's got to come around under the upper coil on this side. So you have to cut and bend and whatever, and then I get a 7/16 inch bolt, run through there, run it through there, and then put it up through the mower deck, and then put this, then I have a rubber cover that goes on it, and that and I put the rubber cover on it, and then it just folds down. It sits the seat a little bit higher, but what that does, that gives it a little bit better. Not only do you cushion the ride underneath on this seat, but then you cushion it down here too, so it doesn't sit right on that frame. So that should work, and can't wait to try it out. But right now there's just No grass to cut. It's been so dry. Anyway, hope y'all got some ideas from that. If you have a zero turn that you want to, you know, just more or less loosen up that ride a little bit instead of having it so tight. But like I say, that should give us a little bit more suspension on that, because I didn't pay as much for that seat as I would. I didn't want to pay $500, so I figured with what all I've got invested in that seat and those two springs, I don't know, those springs I think were like, with everything plus the hardware today, it was like no more than $25. So anyway, hope I can give you some ideas on that. Enjoy your day. Get out and do something.